My parents nearly forced me into an arranged marriage that would have ruined my freedom. But things changed after his mom called me a harlot for having male friends. I took 1 week to pray about marrying him. In that time, I found the man who would rescue me from everything. In the world I grew up in, a daughter's worth was measured by how quietly and efficiently she could serve. As the oldest girl in the family, I didn't have a childhood like the ones you see in books or movies. I didn't have sleepovers, hobbies, or dreams of what I wanted to be. I had duties. From the moment I woke up to the moment I collapsed into bed, I was expected to keep everything in the house running, without complaint, without recognition, and without rest. I planned every single meal down to the last ingredient. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner were my domain. I cooked for a household of 10 like it was second nature, even when I was still barely a teenager. I homeschooled my younger siblings, keeping them on track while quietly struggling to teach myself high school material in the cracks of the day. Between scrubbing dishes, folding laundry, and wiping counters for the 100th time. There was no room for mistakes. No one asked me how I was doing. No one paused to check if I was tired or overwhelmed. I was expected to carry it all and carry it silently. I was the backbone of the home, its invisible engine. I wasn't just their daughter. I was the cook, the housekeeper, the babysitter, the emotional sponge. I had responsibilities that rivaled those of a grown adult, but without the freedom or dignity of one. I remember once, when I was around 15, I had a stomach bug so bad I could barely stand. But the meals still had to be made. The toddlers still had to be taught. The house still needed to be spotless. So I dragged myself from task to task, dizzy and shaking, because rest wasn't an option unless someone else granted it. And no one did. They told me I was loved. That I was cherished. That I was being prepared for a life of purpose. But what I really was exhausted. And invisible. I was the shadow behind the scenes, holding everyone else up, while slowly fading away. I didn't even know I had rights. To me, the law was some distant thing for people who didn't live in the faith. My parents drilled into me every day that until they gave me away to a husband, I was still under their authority and expected to obey them. They were, after all, the mouthpieces of God in my life. That's what I believed. That's what I lived. Then one day, my mother sat me down with a glowing smile on her face. She told me they had received a phone call from another family in our church. Their eldest son, let's call him Frank, had noticed me and wanted permission to court me. Of course, in our world, that meant the parents talked first. The potential couple had almost no say in the matter. They'd consult us only after the arrangements were already halfway made. It wasn't about whether we were compatible. It was about whether our families agreed.